Did you know that over 3 million Australian drivers are now at risk of losing their license? And many don't even realize it? That's right. Quietly, under the radar, new laws and hidden rule changes are being rolled out across the country, and they're catching everyday drivers off guard. You don't have to be a reckless hoon to get hit. In fact, you could lose your license for something as simple as checking your phone at a red light or forgetting to update your address. Sounds ridiculous? It's not. These changes are already in effect in several states, and the fines, demerit points, and penalties are harsher than ever before. Whether you're a new driver or you've been on the road for 30 years, you need to know what's happening before it's too late. In this video, we'll break down the 10 shocking reasons your license could be on the line, starting now.
Number 10. Driving without updating your address. It sounds like such a small thing, doesn't it? You move house, settle into your new place, and somewhere between unpacking boxes and setting up the Wi-Fi, you forget to update your license details. No big deal, right? Wrong. In Australia, failing to update your residential address with your state's road authority is more than just a paperwork issue. It can literally cost you your license. Here's how. If you're issued a fine, a suspension notice, or even a court summons, and it gets sent to your old address, you might never receive it. But the system doesn't care whether you got the letter or not. The penalties still apply. That means you could be driving while suspended without even knowing it, which could lead to massive fines, vehicle impoundment, or even criminal charges, depending on your state. And what makes this worse is that thousands of drivers are caught out by this every year. It's an easy mistake to make, but it's one that carries heavy consequences. And here's the kicker. Updating your address is completely free and takes less than 5 minutes online, whether you're in NSW, VIC, QLD, or anywhere else. Every state has a quick online portal where you can change your details. No long queues, no fees, no excuses. So if you've moved house recently or you're not 100% sure your license or rego has your current address, stop what you're doing and check right now. Quick CTA. Don't wait until it's too late. Head to your state's transport website and double-check your details today. And if you found this tip helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. We've got even more eye-opening reasons coming up that every Aussie driver needs to hear.
Number 9. Car modifications and compliance issues. For many Australians, modifying their car is a way to add personality or improve performance, lowering the suspension, adding custom exhausts, LED light bars, or oversized wheels. But what most drivers don't realize is that these seemingly harmless mods can land you in serious legal trouble. New compliance crackdowns across multiple states mean that unapproved car modifications could now lead to demerit points, fines, and in some cases, even the loss of your license. Authorities are stepping up roadside inspections, and officers are being trained to spot illegal or non-compliant modifications on the spot. If your car is found to be non-roadworthy due to mods, it's not just a matter of getting a defect notice anymore. In many cases, you could be penalized for unsafe operation, which comes with far harsher consequences. One major target is modified suspension and lift kits. If your vehicle exceeds the legal lift height, or if the modifications haven't been certified, you could face instant penalties. Similarly, loud aftermarket exhausts that exceed decibel limits, illegal LED headlights that dazzle other drivers, or even tinted windows that are too dark can all put your license at risk. What's tricky is that modification laws vary between states, and what's legal in Queensland might be illegal in Victoria. Plus, just because a product is sold online doesn't mean it's road legal. Many drivers unknowingly install parts that don't meet Australian design rules, ADR, only to be caught out during a routine traffic stop or after a crash. If you've modified your vehicle or plan to, it's essential to check your state's Vehicle Standards Bulletin, VSB 14, or consult an authorized inspection station. A small oversight could lead to major consequences, especially now that enforcement is ramping up nationwide.
Number 8. New fatigue driving laws. Most people think of dangerous driving as something reckless, speeding, drink driving, or using a mobile phone. But what if simply being too tired behind the wheel could now land you in the same legal trouble? Across Australia, new fatigue-related driving laws are being introduced, and they're changing the game. Authorities now recognize that fatigue can be just as dangerous as alcohol, with research showing that being awake for over 17 hours has a similar effect on your reaction time as having a blood alcohol concentration of 0.05. This has led to increased roadside checks, especially targeting long-distance drivers and shift workers. In some states, if police suspect you're impaired due to lack of sleep, they can fine you, remove you from the road, or even charge you under careless or dangerous driving laws. And if you're involved in a crash while fatigued, it could be used against you in court, even if no other road rules were broken. Fatigue-related crashes are a silent killer on Australian roads. They often happen without warning, with no signs of braking or swerving. Microsleeps, those brief moments where your brain shuts down for just a few seconds, can be enough to cause a devastating accident. And the scariest part? Most drivers don't even realize they're too tired until it's too late. New vehicle technology, like driver monitoring systems, is starting to help detect drowsiness, but the responsibility still falls heavily on the driver. If you're pushing through a long trip without proper rest, especially at night or after a long work shift, you could now be seen as a legal risk on the road. These new laws are a wake-up call. Driving tired isn't just dangerous anymore, it's officially illegal in many cases, and the consequences can be life-changing.
Number 7. Ignoring school zone rules. School zones are some of the most heavily monitored areas in Australian roads, and for good reason. These zones are designed to protect children during their most vulnerable moments, arriving at and leaving school. But what many drivers don't realize is that penalties for breaking school zone rules have become significantly harsher, and just one mistake could now put your license at risk. In recent years, states like New South Wales, Queensland, and Victoria have dramatically increased fines and demerit points for school zone offenses. This includes speeding, illegal parking, using a mobile phone, or failing to stop at crossings during school zone hours. In fact, exceeding the speed limit by just a few kilometers during active school hours can now result in multiple demerit points, and for repeat offenders, that could mean automatic suspension. Adding to the risk is that many drivers aren't even aware of when school zones are active. Hours can vary between states and even between schools. Some zones operate from 8 to 9:30 a.m. and again from 2:30 to 4 p.m., but others may differ. Missing a small roadside sign or forgetting the time can quickly turn into a very expensive and license-threatening mistake. There's also an increase in automated enforcement, with more school zones now fitted with speed cameras, red light cameras, and mobile phone detection technology. These systems operate without warning, meaning you won't even know you've been caught until the fine arrives in your mailbox. The message is clear. School zones are no longer areas where minor slip-ups are forgiven. Authorities are taking a zero-tolerance approach, and the penalties reflect that. If you ignore the rules, you're not just risking a fine. You're risking your license, your insurance, and the safety of children.
Number 6. Dashcam footage now used against you. Dashcams were once seen as a driver's best friend, a way to protect yourself from false claims or catch others doing the wrong thing. But here's the twist. Your dashcam footage, or someone else's, can now be used against you in a court of law. That's right. Across Australia, police departments are increasingly accepting dashcam and helmet cam footage from the public to investigate traffic offenses, and they're acting on it fast. What used to be a blurry memory in a dispute is now clear, high-definition evidence. A quick lane change without indicating, tailgating, running a yellow light, or not giving way. These minor infractions can now be captured and reported with time-stamped, GPS-verified video. And once that footage is handed in, authorities are legally empowered to issue fines, assign demerit points, or even take drivers to court based solely on what's recorded. In fact, many states have set up dedicated online portals where members of the public can upload dashcam clips directly to police. This has created a kind of digital surveillance network on the roads, where any trip you take could be monitored not just by official traffic cameras, but by thousands of private dash cams watching every move. What's more, if you're involved in an incident and your own dash cam records something illegal, even unintentionally, that footage can be subpoenaed or voluntarily handed over. What was once your best defense might quickly become the evidence that costs you your license. The growing use of dashcam footage isn't just changing how crashes are resolved, it's changing how traffic laws are enforced. It's a powerful reminder that every time you're on the road, you're potentially being recorded, and if you slip up, there might be a lens pointed at you, ready to catch it.
Number 5. Speed tolerance is shrinking. For years, Australian drivers have operated under a kind of unofficial understanding. Go a few kilometers over the limit, and you'll probably get away with it. But that's quickly becoming a thing of the past. Across several states, especially in New South Wales and Victoria, authorities are now enforcing much stricter speed tolerances, with some areas having zero leeway. That means even going 3 to 5 kilometers over the posted limit could result in an automatic fine and demerit points. Why the sudden crackdown? It's all part of a broader road safety strategy to reduce accidents and fatalities, but it's also linked to revenue. Speeding fines are bringing in millions in additional income for state governments each year. In NSW alone, revenue from speed cameras jumped by over 28% in just 1 year after tolerance thresholds were quietly reduced and warning signs were removed in many zones. What's catching drivers out is how easily these low-level speeding offenses happen. It could be a slight downhill slope, a delayed glance at your speedo, or simply misjudging the limit after entering a new zone. And with the rise of covert mobile speed cameras, often parked in unmarked vehicles, you won't even know you've been caught until the fine arrives in your letterbox. Modern cars also make it easy to unintentionally speed. Smooth rides, powerful engines, and quiet cabins can dull your sense of how fast you're actually going. Add in changing limits around roadworks or school zones, and the risk multiplies. In today's driving environment, the old 5Ks over is fine mindset is no longer safe. The margin for error is shrinking fast, and if you're not constantly aware of your speed, your license could be at risk over something you didn't even notice.
Number 4. Drug and alcohol testing expansion. Most drivers know the risks of drinking and driving, but what's changing now is how often you can be tested, where it can happen, and what substances are being targeted. Across Australia, authorities are expanding drug and alcohol testing programs in a big way, and it's not just focused on alcohol anymore. Random roadside drug testing is now more frequent, more advanced, and much harder to avoid. Unlike alcohol, where there's a clearly defined legal limit, drug testing operates on a zero-tolerance basis. That means any detectable amount of certain illegal drugs in your system, such as cannabis, MDMA, or methamphetamine, can lead to immediate license suspension, heavy fines, and in some cases, criminal charges. Even more alarming, the effects of some substances can linger in your system for days, well after the high is worn off. Drivers who used cannabis recreationally on the weekend, for example, might still test positive on Monday morning. Police are also increasing their use of mobile saliva testing units, which allow officers to conduct roadside drug checks in minutes. These aren't limited to major cities either. They're turning up on regional roads, highways, and even near music festivals or community events. And with advanced detection tools now being rolled out, more prescription and over-the-counter medications are also under scrutiny. Many drivers are being caught out because they didn't realize their medication could impair their ability to drive or that it was even considered a drug under the law. This includes medications for anxiety, pain relief, ADHD, and even some cold and flu treatments that cause drowsiness. As drug testing becomes more aggressive and far-reaching, drivers need to be more cautious than ever.
It's no longer just about avoiding alcohol. It's about knowing exactly what's in your system before you get behind the wheel.
Number 3. Mental and physical health reporting. Most people assume that as long as they can physically drive a car, their license is safe. But under updated regulations in many Australian states, your mental and physical health could now be a reason for having your driver's license suspended or even canceled. What's more, doctors are now legally required to report certain medical conditions to licensing authorities if they believe those conditions could impair your ability to drive safely. This includes a wide range of health issues, not just the obvious ones like epilepsy or vision loss. Conditions such as diabetes if it leads to hypoglycemia, early stages of dementia, sleep apnea, and even severe anxiety or depression may all raise red flags. If your doctor believes you're not fit to drive, they must notify the relevant transport authority, and you could lose your license without any prior warning from the government. This shift puts more responsibility on health professionals and means that a simple visit to your GP could unexpectedly impact your ability to stay on the road. And while the goal is clearly safety for you and for others, many drivers feel blindsided when they're told their license is being reviewed or suspended due to a medical report they didn't even know was submitted. Drivers over a certain age are also subject to mandatory health checks in most states. For example, in New South Wales, drivers over 75 must pass a medical exam every year, and after 85, they may be required to take a practical driving test. These rules aim to reduce road risk, but they're also catching people off guard, especially those who've been driving for decades without any issues. In today's system, your health history is no longer private when it comes to driving. It can now directly impact whether you stay behind the wheel or not.
Number 2. Expanded Demerit point system. You might think demerit points are just a slap on the wrist, something you only need to worry about if you're a repeat offender. But under recent changes in many Australian states, the demerit point system is becoming stricter, with lower thresholds and faster penalties that could strip you of your license before you even realize what's happening. Traditionally, full license holders were allowed up to 12 points over a 3-year period. But now, some states are reducing point limits or introducing harsher penalties for repeat low-level offenses. Even minor infractions like creeping a few kilometers an hour over the limit or forgetting to indicate can quickly add up. Combine that with the rise in mobile speed cameras, AI traffic monitoring, and automated fines, and suddenly, losing points becomes much easier and much faster than it used to be. There's also an increasing number of double demerit periods throughout the year, not just during public holidays. These are catching drivers out when they least expect it. A single offense during one of these periods can strip you of 4, 6, or even 8 points in one go, depending on the nature of the violation. Provisional and learner drivers are even more at risk, with much lower point limits, sometimes just 4 or 5 points before suspension. That means one mistake could be all it takes to be taken off the road for months. And don't forget that points aren't cleared all at once. They stay active for 3 years from the date of the offense, so one bad year can follow you around for a long time. In today's system, it's not about being a bad driver. You can lose your license by being just a little careless a few too many times. The line between freedom and suspension has never been thinner.
Number 1. Stricter mobile phone laws. Once upon a time, glancing at your phone at a red light might have earned you a warning or nothing at all, but not anymore. Australia now has some of the strictest mobile phone driving laws in the world, and the crackdown is only getting tougher. In several states, including New South Wales, Queensland, and Victoria, even touching your phone while driving, whether you're stopped in traffic or at a red light, can now lead to heavy fines and demerit points. In some cases, repeat offenders are facing automatic license suspension. The reason? Authorities are treating mobile phone use behind the wheel as seriously as drink driving, and it's backed by evidence. Studies have shown that using a phone while driving increases the risk of a serious crash by up to 4 times,
even more if you're texting or checking social media. That one quick glance at a notification, it could cost you $1,000 or more and 5 demerit points in some states. What's more alarming is the rise of high-tech mobile phone detection cameras. These AI-powered systems are capable of scanning thousands of vehicles a day, rain or shine, day or night, capturing high-resolution images of drivers caught using their phones. And they're shockingly accurate. Many drivers are being fined without ever being pulled over, only to discover the offense when the notice arrives weeks later. The cameras are often hidden and unmarked, leaving drivers with no second chances. Some drivers have even been caught holding their phone in their lap, not realizing that it's still classified as use under the law. Even using your phone as a GPS without a proper cradle can land you in trouble. In today's world, a simple mistake like checking a text can cost you your license. The rules have changed, and now they're being enforced with ruthless precision. So there you have it. 10 surprising ways millions of Australians could lose their license, often without even realizing they've broken the law. What used to be small mistakes, like forgetting to update your address, checking your phone at the lights, or modifying your car, can now carry serious legal consequences. And with new technologies, stricter enforcement, and expanded regulations, the margin for error has never been smaller. This isn't just about reckless drivers anymore. Even safe, experienced drivers are being caught off guard by rapid changes in road laws and a growing surveillance system designed to enforce them. AI-powered cameras, tougher demerit point systems, and medical reporting requirements are reshaping how road safety is managed in Australia, and most drivers are still trying to catch up. Whether you're on a full license, a P-plate, or just preparing to get behind the wheel for the first time, one thing is clear. Knowing the rules could be the difference between staying on the road or losing your license. Now is the time to take your driving knowledge seriously. Stay informed, check your demerit points, keep your vehicle compliant, and never assume that a small mistake won't have big consequences. If this video opened your eyes to things you didn't know, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with friends and family who drive too. The more people who are aware, the safer we'll all be on the road. Checkmark if you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more eye-opening videos like this, and drop a comment below. Which one of these reasons shocked you the most? And if you're ready for more, check out our next video. 5 hidden ways your car is draining your wallet without you realizing. You won't believe number 3.